Cha Eun-woo, the stage name of actor and singer Lee Dong-min, is currently serving his military service in South Korea. After officially starting duty on July 28, 2025, he is now placed in the military band unit, a unit that has a strategic role in supporting ceremonial activities, official events, as well as maintaining troop morale through the power of music. The presence of a popular public figure in the band unit adds its own spotlight, but in the context of the military, this is seen as part of the total integration of each soldier into a disciplined, structured, and task-oriented system of the state. The previous weekend, Cha Eun-woo was granted a short leave granted to soldiers based on rotation rules and active duty soldiers' leave entitlements. After the end of his leave, he returned to his unit with the condition of being ready to resume military responsibilities. His return this time was immediately welcomed with an agenda of intensive training with the military band team. The exercise was not a routine activity per se, but preparation for a special event that would be attended by military officials and other important invitees. The event demanded full readiness both in terms of musicality, discipline of the ranks, and the physical appearance of the soldiers. The military band itself is an important element in the tradition of the South Korean Armed Forces. In each unit, the military band is in charge of accompanying official ceremonies, giving musical tributes to high-ranking state officials, as well as creating a solemn and dignified atmosphere in each ceremonial activity. With Cha Eun-woo's inclusion in the unit, his role is no longer that of a widely known celebrity, but rather that of a soldier who assumes responsibilities according to the command structure. He trained together, wore the same uniform, and obeyed the rules without exception. In the context of the military, post-leave training is an important momentum to ensure that every soldier can readjust to the rhythm of duty. This also applies to members of military bands. After a short break, consolidation is needed so that all members can perform in unison, harmoniously, and disciplined. Cha Eun-woo, along with his teammates, began a high-intensity training session, which included physical warm-up, line-up arrangement, to the repetition of the musical score to be performed. Special uniforms that will be used in future events also add weight to the preparation. The uniform is designed to the official military standard, containing symbols that represent the honor and identity of the unit. For every soldier, wearing a uniform on a special occasion is not just an obligation, but a form of pride and a reminder that they are part of the National Defense Guard. With his background as a public figure, the spotlight on Cha Eun-woo may be greater than other soldiers. But in the military sphere, personal status and popularity are placed behind collective tasks. The main thing is discipline, togetherness, and execution of orders in accordance with the instructions of the command. Through this exercise, Cha Eun-woo shows his determination to live the country's obligations wholeheartedly, in harmony with his comrades in arms. This introduction confirms that Cha Eun-woo's return from leave is not just a soldier's routine, but rather part of a series of strategic preparations towards a special military event. He and the band are currently in the initial phase of training, which will continue to be improved until the day of implementation. With discipline as the main cornerstone, the military band is expected to present a performance that reflects the honor and professionalism of the South Korean Armed Forces. In the history of the military bands have had functions that go far beyond mere entertainment. Its presence is rooted in a long tradition where music is used to convey command, awaken combat spirit, and strengthen the discipline of the ranks. Since ancient times, drums, trumpets, and other wind instruments have been used on the battlefield to signal troops. Over time, the role evolved into a ceremonial and symbolic element in South Korea. A military band is an official unit under the command of the armed forces. Each military branch, whether the Army, Navy, or Air Force, has its own band that is assigned to various national ceremonies, anniversaries, to international events. The function of the military band is not only to beautify the course of the event, but also to emphasize the authority of the military in front of civil society and foreign guests. Point 2. Functions in official ceremonies. In the context of official ceremonies, the military band plays a role too, accompanying the national anthem. Every state ceremony always begins with the singing of the national anthem. The military band is responsible for playing solemnly and respectfully pay respects to state officials. When high-ranking officials are present, the band plays a protocol-appropriate honor song, affirming the status and respect of the military institution to the country's leader, set the rhythm of the ceremony. In parades and defile, the tempo of the music of the military band is the reference for the steps of the march, thus creating uniformity and order. building a solemn atmosphere. The music, played gives a special nuance, confirms the sacred meaning of the event being commemorated. Point 3. Historical value of military bands in Korea. Since the founding of the Republic of Korea, the military band has been an integral part in every important moment of the country. In the Armed Forces Day ceremony, the band performs as the main element accompanying the military parade before the people. Similarly, on state visits, military bands play the national anthem of foreign guests, showing respect and friendship between countries. This historical role shows that the military band is not just an auxiliary unit, but rather a symbolic element that unites traditions, pride, and representation of the country. Music became a means of cultural communication as well as subtle military diplomacy. Point 4. Contribution to troop morale. In addition to its ceremonial role, the military band also served as a morale booster for the troops. In a military environment where disciplined routines, physical exercise, and heavy duty become daily, music comes across as both comforting and unifying. The performance of a military band is able to create an optimistic mood, restore vigor, and remind soldiers of their common goal. Cha Eun-woo, as a member of a military band, gets involved in this mission. With the background of musicality that he has from the entertainment world, he channels his abilities for the benefit of the collective. In the band environment, each member no longer stands as a well-known or anonymous individual, but rather as an equal soldier, contributing to maintaining the morale of teammates and the squad as a whole. Point 5. Military bands as a tool of diplomacy. On many occasions, military bands are also commissioned in international events. They perform in the World Military Music Festival, presenting a repertoire that combines traditional Korean songs, modern compositions, to universal works. Through this performance, the South Korean military showed its professionalism, cultural richness, and openness in interacting with the global community. The musical diplomacy that military bands run is strategic. He built a positive image of the South Korean military, showing that military strength is measured not only by defense equipment, but also by the ability to establish relations in a dignified manner. Point 6. Relevance for conscript soldiers. For a conscripted soldier, involvement in a military band provides a unique experience. They continued to undergo military discipline, but at the same time developed artistic abilities. This experience teaches that the military is not only about physical strength and combat strategy, but also about cultural values, collective discipline, and non-combat contributions that strengthen the institution as a whole. Cha Eun-woo is a good example. As an artist who is used to performing on stage, now he channels his talent in a larger framework, namely state duty. He does not perform for personal popularity, but for the honor of unity and country. This role shows how each individual with different backgrounds can fully integrate in the military system. Point 7. Interim conclusions. The role of military bands in South Korea's military tradition cannot be taken lightly. It is a symbolic guard that strengthens the authority of the state, supports the morale of the troops, and becomes a means of international diplomacy. In this framework, Cha Eun-woo's participation is not individualistic, but part of the continuation of a long-established military tradition. By understanding the role of the military band, we can see that the training that Eun-woo and his team are undergoing post-leave is not just a music practice routine. It was a serious preparation to assume the historical, ceremonial, moral, and diplomatic functions of the South Korean military band. Every active duty soldier in the South Korean military is entitled to paid leave in accordance with applicable rules.